this is just what I need right now. This is just what my process needs right now, because I have this wound, this very, very potent wound of believing that I'm too much. And these videos in which I purposely try to not censor myself and try to give myself permission to be messy, and not only is that on its own healing to me, but also I'm realizing how much I need those spaces to for these ideas to take shape. Like, I'm noticing it feels very freeing once I let myself take up that kind of space and fill that space, because then ideas are able to come to the surface and be expressed and take shape that otherwise would have just stayed stuck in here, or like ideas or feelings. So I don't know. All that to say is I'm really glad you're here, however far you're gonna make it in this video. And even if I'm just talking to a future version of myself, then congratulations. You're being really kind to yourself. You're loving yourself fiercely and demonstrating commitment to your own growth and healing. Yeah, so whether I'm talking to someone I don't know, which I guess includes a future version of me, that because I haven't met them yet. Anyway, so whoever I'm talking to, whenever I'm talking to you, thank you for being here. I hope that you enjoy this video or the parts of it that you're gonna watch. And yeah, I'm gonna let the other version of me take over now. Bye. We are filming though, right? We are filming. Yes, we're filming. Oopsie. Hey, Mush. Hi. I love you. I love you. Yes. Hello. Oh. Turns out this spot here doesn't get the vacuum treatment that the rest of the room does. I just did this powwow yoga class by Akosia Red Elk. I only managed to do like half of the class, or a bit more than half maybe. And I had to surrender, or like had to give up, because I was breathing very heavily. I feel like I haven't done something this strenuous and like something cardio-ish in a while, and I feel like some feelings maybe were shaken loose in the process of this, that I'm now, I don't know, that are now moving through me, taking up space, wanting to be let go of, wanting to be seen, felt, metabolized, and moved on from, or something. I'm feeling sadness and grief, and I don't know. I was watching this video on YouTube. Yeah, everything that I mention will be linked down in the description. I was watching this video where someone told their daughter the story of, or like the story about the origin of Turtle Island, according to Ojibwe tradition. I hope I pronounced that correctly or remembered that correctly. And I I feel like this is definitely not the first time that I felt this way, but I don't yeah, I I feel like ever since I started becoming aware of and learning more about racism and white supremacy, I've had many moments. Basically content like so ever since I started learning about all of that meant that I also had to contend with my whiteness and what that means or doesn't mean. And I've talked to friends about, or I don't know, at least to some, or I don't know if how many people I've actually mentioned this to, but I thought about it a lot. Yeah, so I've been thinking about whiteness as a curse, but I never really, I don't know. I it's how do you explore an identity that is basically like that is defined by an absence of things, like that is defined in a negative way, like in a way that like like how do you explore or even like potentially embrace an identity that was created to justify violating other people and to other people so that we can justify violence against and not just against other people but also like whiteness. The way that I understand it, whiteness is very linked to an understanding of being human that draws a clear line between humans, and drawing a line as in creating a separation or distancing themselves from, not creating a connection or being connected to the rest of all things living, the rest of the world, the rest of nature. How do you there's no culture I feel like I want, like there's no culture that belongs to me, that or like whatever the fuck that means, that I feel like I want to connect to, I want to, there's just it all feels so sterile and so like it's not true. I don't I like I know that I will not like and and the reason why I think of whiteness as a curse is I believe that we I don't know, like we created all of these oppressive systems and these chains, and we didn't realize that we built all of these. I don't. We took so much, and we took so much. We there's so much violence we perpetrated, and so much we took from people, and so many like oppressive structures we built, and we will not like break out of them until the last person, until the last being has been broken free from those restraints. Like there's no like there's no way to for me to re-signify or feel. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too much. I'm just basically I was listening to this or like watching this video where this dad was telling his daughter about their people's tradition and their and this beautiful story of the origin of the land of their people. And I and I can't believe why we're not like why do we have to live in this reality? What it's I just try. It's okay. This is not. I think this is just grief. I don't have to. It doesn't have to make sense. I don't have to find words for it. I'm just. What has to happen to, like. It's okay. I don't. I don't have to make. I don't have to make this a problem. Me crying, me feeling grief is not an issue or something I need to solve because it's the only thing that makes sense on its own. Like, this doesn't need an explanation. Like, the world and history and everything is the explanation. I need to get a tissue. And I'm like, this is not me trying to romanticize indigeneity or I don't know, like there's like like I don't know anything. Like the more I've just started learning and I like barely know the names of any tribes or and cultures. So like and like indigenous people are people like everyone else, but also like I don't know. I I I do want to find words for this experience because I think it's important and because it's a very even though it's painful or sad or I don't even know, it's also really like beautiful and meaningful and important because like this grief about everything that was lost and my my place in that or how my life fits into all of that. Like I feel like that's been really liberating, like feeling that grief and remembering kind of how we got here. So I do want to find words for this that I don't know, acknowledge, like, I don't know, I feel like there's, like, we, like, feeling guilty or like doing things out of guilt or some misguided sense of, I don't even know if, I don't know, I like, we're not doing anti-racism because, like, or or we're not like anti-racism and like decolonial struggles are like not there for white people to save the people that they victimized in the first place. That's not what this is like. It's about like understanding, like just completely shifting the way that we exist in the world and we how we relate to each other and remember the ways that we are all connected. So there has to be space, for people who are like who live in this world being racialized as white. And there has to be space for grief about that too. It doesn't need to have space everywhere. It doesn't need to be centered, but there needs to be spaces where we can metabolize these things and also be honest about that. Like, I feel like, yeah, I don't know, I feel like having been part of this leftist, especially queer leftist bubble that is very, very much like a product also of the technologies of the time, so like social media and stuff, and cannot be divorced. Like, okay, I feel like the political bubbles and I don't know, shared understandings and shared political understandings and values that and groups I've been part of cannot be divorced from the technologies that we've used to gather. And these technologies are not neutral. These technologies like Instagram, and I know that like, I don't know, like Instagram hasn't always been the way that it is right now, but also like just the way, I don't know, like we are by letting, like by relying so much on these technologies, like we're just like, this is just like a further colonization of the mind. Like this is like this idea that there's only one way to be right. Like there's like, I don't even want to talk about Instagram anymore. I'm so mad. I'm so mad like that. And I'm not saying that like there's still so much, there's like I've learned so much on like from people sharing their perspectives, their knowledge on these platforms. But I also feel like, I don't know, like it's a trap. Because it, I don't know, it keeps us in this state of panic and fight and flight, and I'm just so mad and angry and sad, and I'm just there's this fucking pandemic that the like honestly just honestly I think like So there's this fucking pandemic that made us rely even more on these platforms, made them even more powerful. And then there are these people that I've kind of made my community, made the group that I feel a part of, and then all of them just don't, like, don't act in alignment with their values. They all just, again, split off the parts of them, like, kind of I don't know, just disassociating from their knowledge that actually, by pretending that the pandemic is over, we're hurting other people. Um, what's going on here? I changed my battery. I I understand that I'm not being super coherent right now. At least I don't feel like I'm being super coherent. And honestly, I don't feel like being super coherent because none of this makes sense. I'm so angry and mad and disappointed and sad that people aren't listening. Like, I don't. So I do want to find words for this. I do want to find words for how, even though it doesn't look that enticing probably right now for me, just how important it is to understand that the way that we are able to even conceive of ourselves and the world cannot be divorced from colonialism. I don't know. I don't know. And that the only way that I see out of this is through connection, and like real connection that is not mediated by some power hungry overlords. Like, uh, I feel like there's hundreds of years of grief trapped in my body, and I don't know. And I can't. And I would like to be able to have this little emotional moment. And like, I would like to be able to cry, and for people to know that I'm so grateful for that. Like, I'm so, and like in the crying, in the grief, I feel so loved and held by the earth, by the universe, by people sharing their knowledges and wisdoms about other ways of being. There's so much, there's, yeah, there's so much forgiveness. Like, yeah, I'm so grateful for the forgiveness of the earth, and of people, and the land, and everything. Just every day we get to wake up and have another chance, even though, I don't know, arguably probably we shouldn't. If we believed, I don't even know. I don't know if, do people want to watch other people cry on the internet? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the more I connect with my body, the more overwhelmed I feel by everything. Like, what is this world? Like, what is the internet? What is like, I don't know. It feels like I don't know. There's like some very strong ancestral resonance being dropped into me and into this world and being like, what the fuck? Okay. I didn't want to spend this afternoon sitting inside filming, but also it's still cold outside. It's getting warmer, and there's been not enough rain, not nearly enough rain. Like, we've barely had a winter, like, and it's been so dry. I'm so I'm so grateful to have actually found community where I don't have to find words for this because people know and understand. And I, yeah, I'm just I'm just really desperate for more people to understand this. And I don't know, I'm and it's hard to get out of the mindset that things have to be hard, if that makes sense. Like I'm not, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna draw some tarot cards, and then I'm gonna I should probably have something to eat, because in the first couple of minutes when I turned on this camera, I was so hungry that I felt nauseous. Um, so maybe I can also get some food outside. That's a what okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put something warm on, and then I'm gonna go outside. But what kind of food do I want? I don't know. I'll figure it out outside. That's okay. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna draw or pull some tarot cards. I don't even know. Maybe I feel like there's some sort of presence of, like, there's some sort of ancestral presence, or like, I don't know, some sort of like old, I don't know, trapped presence that is trying to, I don't know, speak through me, or like put impart their wisdom on me or something. I feel like there's someone there, which feels new. Yeah, maybe just like, I don't know, help me understand what I should do, or what's going on, what I need to know. I don't know, like, just tell me something. I'm gonna trust my cards. Like, I feel like I'm holding them very tightly. Like, I don't want to do the wrong thing. There are like 3 cards that fell out right now. I don't know. I will leave them there. But I feel like 3 at once always feels a bit like I didn't do my job right. Okay. Okay, I don't think I was aware of that to that degree while I was filming. Like the fact that exactly every time I clearly voiced what I was worried about, that's when the cards fell out, which was, I don't know. Gotta love tarot. Okay. Okay, so the first three cards that fell out were the Two of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the Nine of Swords, but reverse. I've definitely I've seen these cards a bunch before, and I feel like a lot of the time in moments where I feel like when I saw these cards I was like, oh, I don't know what to do with you. and then and then the last one was this, and this one feels a bit more, this one feels like, come on, like just like I am actually talking to you. Like believe me. Okay. Okay. So the Two of Wands. I mean, I'm sitting right here next to some candles, and I lit them. Did I light them with matches? I don't think I did, but usually I do. And then there's this window into the night sky. The candle is made from beeswax. Yeah. I feel like so many elements are present. Okay, I'm gonna see what the guidebook has to say about that. I don't know. The Two of Wands is where the Ace's inspiration meets everyday reality. Your newfound interests and ambitions may have you caught up in daydreaming, but dreaming isn't the same as doing. It's time to do the work of planning and foresight, to connect the dots between the big idea and the execution of it. When this card appears, you may be feeling dissatisfied or restricted by your present life and impatient for something, anything different. Alternately, you might want to break away but be too afraid to risk losing what you already have. Either way, this card advises you to be smart and intentional about your decisions without getting mired in what ifs and stalling. Here is an open threshold through which you can step into new possibilities if you choose to. You have what you need to light your way, to discover your path. The first step is lighting that wick. The next is up to you. A dream stays a dream until you do it. Okay. I'm noticing that this is making me feel a bit like scared or like intimidated. Like someone's, like, I don't know, it feels like there's a mission that I have, and I'm like, and I feel like I don't have all of the tools, and why me, and I can't do this, and what if I'm wrong, or what if I don't know. And then I just remember that I'm not alone, and that there is actually a place where I could talk about these ideas in community, where I feel like I wouldn't be judged, and it's kind of a safe environment. Okay. Then we move on to the Five of Wands. So yeah, I don't know, like the way that I'm usually reading this is that, like, the first card being this is what it's about, like, and the second card being like containing some sort of like, this is how you do it, or like some sort of advice. and then the third card kind of what it leads to. But I'm not sure if I'm going to stick to that way of storytelling. I'm just gonna see what comes up. Five of Wands. The Five of Wands marks our first big challenge in the passionate, willful realm of fire, conflict. When this card appears, you might get caught in the twin toxic grips of ego and comparison. You may feel a need to power grab, prove yourself, or be first in a race where there are no winners. Alternately, this card can signal a general lack of direction, characterized by conflicted or contradictory desires. Maybe you feel like you should pursue a stable traditional career when what you actually want is to make art or organize for social justice. To work things out, you need to disarm your smarting ego, get clear on your desires, and work toward collaboration instead of competition. Like the yellow jackets on the card, we can strike out and sting, or we can build something fine and functional together. So stop wasting energy on infighting and comparison. Channel it into creation instead. Okay. I mean, I feel like this is sort of what I was talking about. Like, yeah. And then there's the Nine of Swords, but it's reverse, which doesn't really change that much about the image, really. Like with the other cards, I feel like there's a clear like up and down. Like it would change the image a lot if I turned it around. But for the Nine of Swords, it doesn't actually matter that much. Like, I mean, yeah, some of the blades of the swords are facing down, some are up. So I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Nine of Swords. What keeps you up at night? Because here it is. This card represents the swirling worries that steal your rest, the anxieties and fears that jolt you awake, the haunted thoughts that twist your dreams to nightmares. This state of mental anguish can arise from life events, losses, trauma, guilt, responsibility, or good old-fashioned brain chemistry. But don't worry if that's possible. This card does not mean your worries will come to pass. Instead, it reflects and validates the mental mire you're in to help you navigate this dark night of the soul. When this card appears, interrupt your thought cycle and check in with reality. Which of your perceived monsters are real and which are just ghosts? How can you support your mental health at this time? Thoughts can help as well as hurt. What helpful mental tools do you have at your disposal? A nightmare is scariest in the dark. Turn on the lights. Okay, now I think I understand why it was upside down. Why it's upside down, or at least my instinct was, I don't know. I have many thoughts, but maybe one of the thoughts I had was that this might be about like, yeah, like so like the text in the guidebook focuses a lot on the mental tools because the swords are the realm of like are the mental realm, but okay, but the fact that like in the mental realm, like the way that I turn the card, the way that I turn this card, like makes a big difference. Like, I mean, I know that it says Nine of Swords, but technically, like my brain has to do brain gymnastics to read this upside down. But with these physical items that are like they're very, like I feel like they're very physical in the sense that like they feel very physical in a bodily sense, not just in a material way, but I don't know, because we can imagine the way that these are being used on, like these are used to interact with bodies, whether it be a tree body or like flesh body or like I don't know. So I don't know. I'm thinking of I don't know. Like I was thinking about also just like I don't know colonialism and like there's this person, I forgot their name, but they're talking about post what is it called? Post colonial fragmentation sort or something like that. I have to figure out, but yeah, but kind of like framing colonialism as the root of our trauma and like just discombobulated existence. um I don't know, something about that, and how, I don't know, I don't know, something about that, something about me, and also you, as in like the rest of the world that is not me but also is kind of me, you know. um and then like the last card that fell out was the judgment card, which I read as, come on dude, like I'm actually talking to you, read those cards. I mean it, because I feel like I respond to like this feels like, oh, I know this card, this feels like something I know, this feels like me, this feels like wait, is this Pluto? And is this Pluto and air? Some, I don't know. But I'm gonna read. And also, I mean, it's like there are these spirits in the sky, right? Okay. Sometimes things are a bit spooky. in a sweet way. Judgment is a card of awakening. The penultimate card in the Major Arcana, it meets us near the end of a journey, at a time when we can look back with new eyes, clear with the wisdom of hindsight and experience. When this card appears, it may feel like a veil is falling from your vision, and everything suddenly makes sense. How you got here, your motivations, your culpability, and that of others. With the revelation of this understanding, you can now make a choice about where to go next. Judgment may signal a new self-awareness about who you are and what you want, one that requires you to make a change. You may hear the call to a new purpose, or may feel an irrevocable. Why do we invent words like this? This is someone's kink, I think. I may feel an irrevocable tug in one direction, even if you don't know where it will lead. Okay, now I forgot what the beginning of the sentence was. You may hear the call to a new purpose. You may hear the call to a new purpose, or may feel an irrevocable tug in one direction, even if you don't know where it will lead. The awakening is the easy part. The hard part is the choice. Many ignore the trumpet's call, afraid of the radical change required. But you're not one of them, are you? Rise, transcend. Yeah, this feels like a heavy spread. This feels like someone telling me to like carry the torch or something. Oh wait, this was the second card. Why did? Okay. But also, I think the reason why it feels heavy is because I'm used to feeling like I have to fight for a better world, but I used to always take myself out of the equation, and I am part of this world. I'm part of the thing that I'm fighting for. So I need to resource myself. Also, I don't know, this is not a hero's journey, because like, yes, I'm an individual, but nothing I do is just my own. I'm part of a collective, and I do have agency, and I have power, and I can do things that other people can't do, and also I need things and I need to be with other people. And I don't know, like I don't I actually I do want to I want to stop talking and go outside. So I'm gonna do that. This feels very messy. I don't know. It's really weird, like this. Okay. I guess the person who watches my videos the most is myself. So I can ask myself, do I want to watch this? Not other people, do I want to watch this? And how can I turn this into something that I find valuable, that I am proud of? That's the only direction I can orient towards myself. Like, there was also something about getting clear about your desires in the spread, right? I don't know which one it was. Was it the Two of Wands or the Five of Wands? I think it was the Two of Wands. I don't know. Anyway, being part of communities that open up my understanding of what's possible is how I get clear on my desires, because I have a hard time imagining them, or like them taking shape, if they're too far away from what I have experienced as possible. So okay. So yeah, when this card, okay, so I'm just gonna, so Two of Wands, when this card appears, you may be feeling dissatisfied or restricted by your present life and impatient for something different. I'm very desperate for things to be different, for, yeah. And I have what I need to light my way. Yeah, I just have to have me. I have so many tools at my disposal that I didn't know I had just a year ago, or even half a year ago. Like, it's about change and my part in it, I guess. And it's not and like let go of ego and just like do this in collaboration with other people. I don't have to be the one saving. Like I'm not, anything I do is not mine complete. Like, yes, I am an individual, and yeah, but like, yeah, okay, all of my achievements are the achievement of the collective, and the achievement of the collective that I'm part of, like, are partially my achievements. So I don't know. And if I let go of, like, then it also feels less heavy. Then it feels like this is what I this is these are the ideas and the perspectives. Okay, these are the ideas and the perspectives that I can bring to a community, to the collective, and like the ingredients, like throw my ingredients into the soup, into the stew of it all. And then the Nine of Swords was about yeah, the state of mental anguish that can arise from life events, losses. Interrupt your thought cycle and check in with reality. How can I support my mental health? Okay. I don't know. Things make sense in my head. That's enough. And now I need to take care of my meat suit. I wonder if, like, the people that have passed, like, that are now, like, in the spirit world or something, I wonder if they, if they, like, talk to each other, or, like, I don't know. You know, when I was a child, so I grew up um, Catholic, and um, when I was a child, I was like, I don't know, I guess at least like until I started school, I feel like I was religious, and then school kind of made me not like it anymore. Um, but yeah, I feel like I had this very intuitive understanding of God or divinity or something, and I would say these the smartest things and also funny things. I don't know. Yeah, and one of the images and one of the ideas or understandings of the afterlife I had was um, like there's this huge, like, kind of infinite room made out of clouds, and there were all these I don't know how to call these this in English, but these, like, they're like long tables and long benches, and they're, you can, like, they're collapsible. There's this culture of farmers selling the stuff that they make a few times a year for a couple of, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but I was so I was imagining all of these long tables and benches that are very reminiscent of, yeah, I don't know, to like, I don't know, just doesn't really matter, but like, yeah, I mentioned this, like, infinite room made out of clouds, and all of these old people sitting there playing cards, and then there's also like a bunch of children running around in between the the rows, and maybe even like a dog or some, I don't know, just, yeah, an image that I had of the afterlife, where people just, I don't know, talked and played cards. um yeah, all right, I think I'm gonna leave it here. um Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me, keeping me company while I cry about being white. No, but a little bit. Again, I don't know. Is making a joke about that, is that me not, is that me pushing away my feeling? Or, like, I don't know, making myself less vulnerable? Who knows? Who knows? But I will go now because I don't want to spend another day inside.